KSL Brightside with Ethan Miller.
Do they not have enough of us recorded already? They could just do this in AI.
And Alex Keary.
We're not even real. This entire show is just a hologram.
This is KSL Brightside, the Afterparty. But it's before. With Ethan and Alex on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Miller here with Alex Keary. Alex, we're going to rename this radio show.
Why?
We're going to rename it from KSL Brightside to KSL Hantavirus Death Watch.
I can't believe that this is when we decided to start the reboot of the show. There's going to be a pulmonary virus that is going on. You're like, oh no, like COVID? They're like, no, but we'll freak people out like COVID.
Oh yeah, we'll freak people out for sure. So new information, they've been pulling people off the ship, and they're saying 2 more people though have tested positive of those.
Well, more importantly, as soon as the words Utah and confirmed more people sick, and then they were like, and Utah, then it made it sound like it was
Utah had someone there.
Didn't we have? We have 3 confirmed Utahns, right?
On that cruise ship?
Hold on, Caitlin. We need more information on this, obviously.
Who are they and where'd they get their money for that cruise? Because those cruises are so expensive. Those cruises are tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, a guy named Spencer or Heber, something along those.
We sent out a text from KSL News Radio that Utah health officials say 3 Utahns were exposed to Hantavirus aboard cruise ship.
Okay, exposed.
And we're expecting some sort of an update media scrum at 1.
Okay, so we're gonna bring some actual stuff.
There's gonna be a media scrum. So what media scrum locally, or is this
This is according to Michael, who's helping me out with the information. It's local.
It's a local media scrum
today. That's good. That means we'll get some info, and then we'll be able to really localize it for tomorrow when we have more updates about Hantavirus that we probably don't necessarily need to freak everybody out over. But I do want to ask you, though, how'd Mother's Day go, Millard?
Good,
All right, back to you. It sounds like it went great. No.
How'd it go for you?
But no, it went really good. We went down to the I hadn't been down to my mother-in-law's. We went down and hung out because we live kind of far away from everybody else. So we went down and we did the thing, and it was a ton of fun. It was beautiful weather, all that. And I just want to remind people now, you have to set your calendar now to forget Father's Day or to forget about Dad on Father's Day, everybody, just to make sure that we keep the.
You want to keep it fair.
Well, we want to keep the tradition alive of like honoring our angel mothers. And then pooping on Dad when it gets to
making bald jokes and fat jokes with Dad.
And I deserve all of those, so it doesn't matter.
I'm fully expecting the I'm with stupid T-shirt.
I did get the mug one year. That was like, hey, if you weren't my dad, like things may be a little bit better, but like you're still pretty fun. Like it was definitely like that, like like elbow dad in the gut kind of thing. But we've gotten to that point now that that's what we expect. We treat holidays the exact same way every year, and that's one of them. So hopefully you moms were able to celebrate. And like I said, start forgetting about Dad now.
Let's see. Ryan made this comment on the stream. He said, Ethan's look of surprise at Utahns being on that cruise ship. Cruising in Disney is what we do.
Yeah, and
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. I shouldn't be surprised that any random cruise ship doesn't has Utahns on it. But Alex, we here on KSL Brightside, we wanted to do our part for the community. So we wanted to condense as much information about Hantavirus as we could into an easily digestible and understandable method of communication.
We're going to get this media scrum. And you know what's going to happen? Nothing's really going to get clarified.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is we're going to have more questions. And so we wanted to distill down actual symptoms of what you're looking at here. Because if we start floating around with a few more problems with this, I think that's what this is. This is a PSA, basically. So this song is to help you understand how Hantavirus symptoms work. And that's what we want to do. It's just something for the community here. So let's take a listen.
This is me singing.
Yeah.
Started like a cold one morning, body aches and fever chills. Thought you shake it by the weekend, thought it was some virus still. Then your chest got tight and heavy, like the air was running thin. That's the danger people missing when Hantavirus settles in. If you can't catch your breath, if your fever won't slow down, if your muscles ache like heartbreak and exhaustion drags you down, don't ignore the warning signs, don't just sleep and hope it ends. Hantavirus starts like flu, then it hits you hard again.
From mouse dropping
All right, there you go. So now you know. That's probably as
Mouse
good
droppings.
as it gets. Now she starts talking about. She starts singing about mouse droppings. I'm out.
I have a quick question I want to kind of toss over to the other side of the desk here. Code Monkey says the volume is on. This is really low.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He says
we'll try to fix that again.
Turn up your.
We're having it. I will break the fourth wall that this has been something we're trying to work on. So thanks for letting us know.
The volume on the thing.
Yeah,
okay.
let us know
right.
if that's a problem.
All right.
Code Monkey, turn up your dadgum computer or your headphones. Come on, man. You know how this works. And then as soon as something comes in at regular volume and then you die from the impact on your eardrums.
It's my favorite thing.
I want you to sue Michael.
It's my favorite thing in the world. So that was a great song.
Well, it just gave you the bit. It just gave you the beats on, hey, and maybe if you had a hard time understanding what it is, it's basically all the COVID symptoms. So welcome back, everybody. We're back to it again.
Look, didn't I say that you and I pop up on the air when we're needed?
Yeah, listen.
When we're needed.
I know. We did the same thing.
We're here.
Good news is we weren't planning on the Hantavirus stuff. Is it Hanta? I used to call it. We said Hanta when I was a kid.
Hantavirus, yeah.
Hantavirus.
Alex, next up on the show today. This is out of Bogue Cheeto, Mississippi, where they had that big tornado. Nailed that trailer park.
Yeah, and I assume that this is, and here's the thing. At this time of year, I mean, this time of year is the tornado time of year, right?
Yeah.
And so actually with the weather, the way that climate has kind of figured itself out, there's less of a line, but spring, early to late spring into summer is tornado season. And places like Mississippi, and obviously it's it kind of stinks because the stereotype is, if you're in a mobile home park, you're going to get hit by a tornado. And that's the thing is that those are the
really
ones.
Happens.
It does, and those are the ones that get hit the hardest because it's not a foundation situation. They don't have the same type of building, obviously, so there you go.
We've got a video that we want to play here as well, but storm chaser Ashton Lemley was working his way through a tornado-ravaged trailer park there in Bogue Cheeto, and he heard a kitten meow. And so he started kind of trying to find it. This is what happened.
Baby, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay, you okay? Come here. It's okay. It's okay.
Can you believe that?
It's okay.
It was buried in debris. He found it between a couple of boards, completely soaked, completely freaked out. But that kitten lived. That kitten took a direct hit from a tornado. Which last I saw, they had a few dozen people injured, but I didn't see any fatalities on this one. Am I right? Am I still right about that?
I don't know.
That's what I saw.
I will say that the fatalities in these types of cases, you have these, these they don't call them category ones. What do they call them? What's the word they use? Categories are the hurricanes.
There's large, extra. There's venti.
No, but
there's venti and
they do they call it anyway. Gosh,
this is beyond my pay grade.
I know, but the number that they use on it is I can't remember how
do they not use that anymore? It used to be like F5, F4.
It's the F. Yes. And
so they still use that.
It stands for some I think Japanese measurement of wind but yeah, like F4s, F5s. Anytime you get to that F3 and plus, F5s are pretty rare, but you start to get fatalities in a crazy amount in places that it's. Again, if it's in a place that doesn't have a ton of really good infrastructure, you're gonna be a really bad spot.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to know that a kitten survived because Ethan, you know what we do? We convince ourselves that things are okay when there's a sign of hope, like a kitten coming out of the out of the mobile
stuff
home
like
park.
that ends up being really it carries an outsized importance because a little kitten.
It's
surviving.
It's a symbol of the whole situation.
It's a tiny little animal. It's a little teeny tiny animal, but it just. Emotionally it becomes huge. Emotionally it just becomes huge.
Yeah. And it's fine. I'm always wanting to know how this thing, how when they do this video and then they go, I found this video of this cat, and people react to that way more than they do the actual human stories. It's a human survived. They're like, that's cool, but what about this tiny Tornado Alley? Yeah.
You lived in Texas for quite a while. What's the closest you ever got to a tornado?
To a Texan?
To a Texan.
They're the same. No, we had a couple touchdown. I had probably a dozen tornado warnings growing up. Now, warning means that they touch down within a certain amount of area. So it's not just a watch. Tornado watch was one thing. Tornado warning it meant that it touched down at some point. We lived kind of sandwiched between lakes, and a lot of time the lakes would be where they would like to touch down first.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason. And I think that when they would touch down on the lake, you were actually in a better spot because it was like, it would dissipate a lot more quickly. And if it sat on top of water for a second, and then it would kind of get broken up a little bit more quickly. But I do remember, too, when you're trained as a kid, like, you cannot be don't go into your gym at your school, right? You need to go into places where, and they had a lot of classrooms in our Texas, like, middle school or elementary schools. A lot of the classrooms are built on the inside so that the classrooms that are on the outside can just move into those.
Yeah.
And you just shut the door. There's no windows. And then that was fine because they weren't big rooms and they were, like I said, they were enclosed.
Sturdy, yeah.
Yeah. And so there were a couple of times though when I was a kid when we got into tubs and into the bathroom and they tell you to put like a mattress over you and stuff, but never had one. I mean, we had a hailstorm that totaled 2 of our cars. And we had to get a brand new roof out of the whole thing too. But I remember, my sister showed me a picture the other day. I was holding a baseball-sized piece of hail when I was 14 years old, and that devastated the entire neighborhood. But not like a tornado. But yes, I've been in a couple of warnings, but nothing actually serious enough to rip the roof off of anything. So, all right, Millard, we got more to move on to, and we're moving right on to this too, because I think that a bigger deal. That I think that we started to touch on this a little bit last week, and that was stuff that gets ruined by people because the popularity starts to pop up.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I've had this experience. I have a favorite campground of mine that I get so frustrated.
Care to share?
No.
Well, then what's the point? It's already been ruined.
I've
Tell me
been
what
saying
it is.
no. I've been saying no to people. I used to say, yeah, there's a great spot. And I'm not saying that my own friends and family ruined this for me, but someone blabbed. Someone talked.
So wait a minute. Is this like a state park?
No. So one of the great things about Utah is that we have all this public land, so you can do primitive camping, right? Set up your own campsite. You just have to leave no trace, right?
Yeah.
And so we have a spot. It's not an official campground. It can't be reserved. It's just a place out in the desert, and
it's legal.
And it's legal. Okay. Yeah. You have the responsibility to leave no trace.
I get it.
But we have just watched it. Not only are there now lots of people around where we go there, but we've watched it change a lot. So there used to be those gnarly desert cedars that are out there that they look dead.
Yeah.
They look dead, but they're still alive.
Yeah, they're cool.
So there used to be a line of those along one side of the campsite.
Oh, I know where you're talking about.
Those have all been chopped down.
Oh, they have? By who?
People who want firewood.
Oh, because they think they're dead.
Because they're not, and they're important habitat. And so guys will go out there and they'll chop down half of it. And then a year later, someone will chop down the other half.
Oh my goodness!
And the big gray trees.
Yeah.
And it's just, and so I don't share things anymore.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
This is how it works with Ethan, by the way. Like Old Man Millard, he does this thing where he goes, and there's a campground that I enjoy, and I don't want anybody else to have it. Look, the joke's on you. You're the one out there burying your waste in a ground latrine, my guy. Like, joke's on you. Nobody wants to experience that.
Well, that's not true. But every time I go out there, there's some other jerk out there.
Only Ethan's allowed to have this camping spot because he found it one time, and now nobody else is allowed to know.
I'll be on Ethan's side with this.
This is some entitlement that all of you guys have, by the way. This is not your land, okay? Do I need to explain it?
I'm sorry. The song goes, this land is your land, this land is my land.
I know, but it's both. It's not just, this land is my land.
No, you can imagine.
Still old my land.
No, you can imagine someone with their pointing. Imagine this. Imagine me pointing.
Yes.
This land is your land.
Right.
This land is my land.
Okay. So
this is how the song goes.
I love how this worked out.
This is how the song goes.
This was started out by a story that I saw on BuzzFeed that was basically about people ruining things.
Yeah.
After the popularity pops up. Now, this was less about personalized camping grounds that were supposed to be just for you.
Well, you asked me.
I know.
You looked right at me and asked me.
The reason that I love this, because we actually started to talk about this, because I said last week, I'm turned off now a little bit by, I like an In-N-Out burger, but like the magic is kind of gone on some of that stuff. We've gotten it it's so popular now, and it's so widely everywhere that it's not as cool as it used to be. And the people from California who'd roll in here and be like, oh, you guys don't have In-N-Out burger, do you? Okay, well, it's a little different.
In-N-Out burger's good, but Salt Lake is a burger city. So it's not like we don't have burgers.
Oh, my gosh. We need to make a T-shirt.
Burger
Salt
City,
Lake,
USA.
Burger City. Yes.
And I like, you know what I like about In-N-Out Burger though? Price point. So that's what I like.
No, In-N-Out, and like everything else though, and they do try to blame a lot of these things that are on this list of stuff that has gotten worse because of how popular it's gotten. The price of things is part of that. And I don't think In-N-Out Burger is a function of, dude, it's so popular, we can charge them whatever we want. Part of their thing is that like they do so much volume and they're so good at pumping it out and the quality's still high that, but the inflation stuff of just the price of beef and things like that has gone up quite a bit. Vegas is next on the list.
Vegas is next on the list. They said this in the 80s and 90s, it was relaxing. You could walk down the strip at street level. The casinos were set back. Yeah. There were even empty parking lots, lots of free parking.
Street pornography way more readily available.
Gigantic hotel set up right against the street now. Every property is built on and corporatized. Corporate greed ruined Las Vegas. That's what this person said. But I don't think that's true.
No, there's no more $4.99 steak places anymore. There really isn't. And there's no such thing as a cheap hotel room in Vegas either.
So corporate greed did not ruin Las Vegas.
What did?
Marijuana did. And I don't want to be that guy. But have you been to Las Vegas lately?
You cannot walk through the street without being absolutely beaten over the head by the weed smell. You're right.
I'm surprised they've got employees showing up to work. I'm really surprised that city is still moving forward. And I hate to be that guy rolling out the pothead stereotypes.
For sure, though. It used to be Los Angeles.
It's suspicious the amount of weed is in that city.
So I had the blessing of being able to take my oldest son one time to a sporting event down there. Mm-hmm. So we went down. He was 13 at the time. Yeah, so this is 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we go down, and he is so dang excited. You know, we're staying at a hotel room. We're doing the buffets. We're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he'd never.
It's a great city.
We'd been through Vegas a few times, but not like he and I together and going for like a thing. We were usually just passing through.
Right. Stop it at the In-N-Out Burger, right?
Stop at the In-N-Out Burger or staying overnight maybe before we go on to Disney the next day or something.
Sure.
And in this case, it was just he and I were going to a sporting event. And he had the privilege of watching a guy strip totally naked and run across the street. Bringing a new term, although not real new term. It's actually probably the exact reason it was named this too. But the strip lived up to its name that day. And I remember him looking at me and he's all, is this the part where they say what stays in Vegas or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? I go, no, you can tell everybody about this just so they know. I go, especially tell mom. She'll really love to hear this. But he got tackled on the asphalt full on. And I remember just thinking, this road rash is this is never going to be.
No. This is where you turn to your son and you say, all right, you and I are going to have a conversation about staying in school and staying off drugs. We're going to talk about that right now.
Your Uncle Ethan.
Right now.
Your Uncle Ethan said this place went to pot when the pot showed up, and he wasn't that wrong. Hipster coffee shops, $8 for a drink that tastes like burnt beans. No thanks. That's from one person who weighed in on it. I'm not a coffee shop guy, but I could see how it's gotten to the point. Has it gotten to that point where it's too out of control expensive? I mean, I guess probably just like any drinks. You go through and get a soda now at any of the soda places.
Well, there is. It doesn't seem like, and I think, and maybe this might be kind of what this person was alluding to about Las Vegas, but I think this definitely applies to kind of the cafe culture. It seems like fewer and fewer businesses are interested in presenting a good deal and good value to the consumer. It just seems like so much of the business world is trying to figure out the maximum amount that they could charge someone. And I understand that that's their prerogative as business owners. But I think that's part of the problem that we have is no one ever says, hey, you know how cheap we made this? You know how far down we brought the price? They're using AI and every other tool to try and figure out, boy, this guy, what could we get him to spend? And that I think is a big part of what's happened to Las Vegas, and I think that's a big part of because it used to, Las Vegas used to have that kind of weird thing where they were proud of their $5 steak and lobster dinners, and it was kind of an old school way to look at it, and that's gone now. Now it's like, how much can we do? What if we offer you a valet experience with this?
We're going to give you the premium thing. And it's like, except for, and I get it. High rollers want to go in and they want to spend a lot of money, but that's like for these 7 hotels here. What about the other 50 that people can go to? And it used to be $39 to stay overnight. Now, again, you could probably still find those nights every once in a while, but that's not the place you want to take your family in the first place. Now, this next one I thought was interesting. Holidays. Holidays weren't as monetized as they are now. You cannot just go You cannot just go and enjoy a holiday like we did when we were kids. It had a little bit more magic to it. Everything has gotten cheap. Everything's gotten, I say cheap.
I don't agree
Everything's
with this.
cheaply made. Everything's cheaply. Everybody's got their own Easter Bunny outfit, and they've got their own. They do the full experience on St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, well, I don't think those are the ones that they were talking about. But monetizing Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day that we just went through, it's gotten pretty ridiculous.
I disagree with that. I don't know what they're thinking about, that it's somehow so much more than it was in the past. I kind of feel like it's always been like that.
Expensive?
Just monetized, big and monetized. And anyway, it's an easy problem to solve. Just don't participate.
Okay.
Which is honestly, this is no joke. So this is my old man Millard moment.
Mm-hmm.
If all the holidays disappeared from the calendar, I would actually kind of prefer it.
Okay.
This is how I want my life. I want my life to be every day kind of the same thing. I don't want these random holidays popping up that I have to react to in some special way. I don't like it, and I really don't want it. And so I encourage everyone to join me in just non-participation.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that like their holiday pay that are not liking you at the moment.
Oh, the holiday
probably.
pay. Yeah, you're a bad person. You don't want people to earn money.
Holiday pay is great. Go to work.
Just don't get that holiday pay.
Holiday pay. Go
I'm
to
not
work.
saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm saying yes. Go to work.
We barely scratched the surface on this list, by the way. Caitlin, we got to do more of this list today. There's no dang way we can avoid, because some of them are just absolutely
you
like.
Can keep going or save it.
College is on here. I mean, concerts are on here. These are all things that we've, I think, just in the last week been yelling about. Ice cream is on the list. Utahns, we don't help with that. We send the demand right through the dadgum roof on that stuff, man.
Did you guys do something for the volume?
I think she did.
Because someone
it sounded like it.
Because Ryan said that's better. All the stuff fell off my desk when the volume came up to normal. So apparently, whatever you did,
I can't live view what's happening on YouTube because there's a delay. So if you can hear better, great.
I think Ryan just actually didn't. He had his volume down. That's probably on him.
And my laptop died, so I was going on my phone volume, but it was sounding fine on my phone. So that's why I'm kind of like.
All right.
Whatever.
All right, we're in a good spot.
Oh, Code Monkey says it is better. This person accuses me of not even wanting a Festivus for the rest of us.
Miller does not like to. He doesn't like to do things the normal way.
It's not fine. That. You know what it is? Privacy of your own home.
Okay.
Privacy of your own home.
Or privacy of your own personal camping spot that only you're supposed to know about. That too.
Correct.
All right. Next up, Ethan, roll it out for us, because I'm going to leave some of this list untouched because we're going to get to most of it in our actual show today from 1 to 3 on KSL News Radio. You can get more of that list, and it'll just make you mad about you'll get grumpy about the stuff that people are ruining, or you'll at least have Ethan's thoughts, which are nothing's being ruined. You just enjoy stuff on your own. Don't worry about what other people think. So then he ruins the whole story.
That's actually really good advice. Actually, that's really good advice.
All right.
All right, next up on the program, people tip less on the weekends. According to multiple studies, they're showing that when Americans get their wallet out to pay for, dinner or something, a meal on the weekends, they actually pay around 1% less for tips on Saturdays and Sundays. And so a number of factors, they've done a few studies, and then they've narrowed it down. They think that on Saturdays, you've got competition from other expenses, like you're out doing shopping and things like that. And then on Sundays, and this is no joke because they actually did these studies in relatively religious communities where it was common to go, have lunch after church or whatever. And they think that it was church donations that are depressing tips afterwards. In other words, your tip basically comes out of the same mental account, right? That other things that your Saturday shopping that your Sunday church donations do, and so it's bringing in about 1% less Saturdays and Sundays.
Some guy in the South who was at a brunch, he goes, "I'd love to tip you more, but I just gave some of my tithes." Mm-hmm. So I know you'd appreciate that. Like, and the server's like, "Thank you so much for your donation to God before you came in and ate at the." At the Hardee's.
Thank you so much for this smaller tip. I dragged my finger through your soup.
Did you see how I localized that too? Hardee's.
Hardee's.
Do you tip at Hardee's? Can you tip
I'm
at
just
Hardee's?
saying. I'm assuming
can you find a Hardee's?
I think Hardee's are just the Carl's Jr.'s across the east of the Mississippi.
I loved Hardee's when they were here.
Yeah. You and Carl Malone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hardee's.
You guys are big Hardee's. Yeah. Carl Malone love Hardee's.
Hardee's is just great.
I will say, but here's the thing about we went through the list already. So sorry, what did you just brought something else up, didn't you? I totally missed it.
Talking about tipping.
I thought that was
in my head. We had ruined tipping. That was the thing. It's the list that we had ruined tipping. That's what. Okay.
I thought we were moving on to. I got instructions for you that we were moving on to a new topic.
No, I did, and I totally. And I have been listening. I just didn't want to listen as much to you. No, the thing that I brought up about the money thing. It's in the same category as I already spent. And the reason people aren't tipping it's not that they're not tipping on the weekend. They're tipping mostly on the weekend in their lives. They're just doing it in they're doing it at multiple points of sale, right? That's the point, including at church, that point of sale at church. No, but I mean, like it's going through it's just money that's going out the door. If you ate at a nice restaurant on a Wednesday, but that's the one place you're eating or you're going and that tips are expected or tips are anticipated, and that's the one place you're going up in the next couple of days, then yeah, you'd give a bigger tip. If it's your third time tipping that day, or
I see your point.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you go, because if I go, or if it's the second time, even just in 2 days that you're going to a restaurant or whatever, and when that barista turns around and goes, "This has a couple of questions for you to answer," and you go, "I know what you're freaking saying to me."
Yeah, you know what I've started asking.
But you didn't do jack squat.
I've started asking. I say, "What happens to these tips? Do they go to you?" And I asked them to confirm. I said, "Do you get these tips, or does management take them?"
Oh, gosh. Do you see this guy? This is a guy you go out with, and you're like, oh, my gosh, Dad,
but this happens.
Shut up, please?
But this happens, though. This happens.
I know. But I don't think the workers aren't going, these tips go straight to my boss. Like, I'm sure they're required to spin the thing around, but wouldn't you think in a restaurant where the staff is there, they get the tips?
But see, yes. So in a restaurant, though, the servers are paid servers' wages, which are low, and then they get tips. I'm talking about the counter sales, where they're getting a tip for the donut, right? You got a dozen donuts here. Sure. You got that one extra question for you, and there's the tip jar next to it.
Yeah.
It's not a traditional tipping thing, and this is where I get suspicious. I add in a tip, and then that goes up the chain. Does it trickle back to the employee? That's what I want to know. And sometimes I'll mention, hey, make sure you don't let management take these tips.
What do you do on the takeout? What do you do on the takeout? Because I've ordered the takeout before, and you roll up to the thing, and they go, oh, you picking an order? Yeah, it's for Alex. And then they go, okay, right here, and they print your thing out, and they print the thing out. You've already bought it, but then they print the receipt out, and it has like, hey, here's the extra line for the tip. I don't know. I never know what to do because I'm the guy staring you down, but you're like,
I look at the amount.
It's takeout, man.
I look at the amount.
It's takeout.
It is takeout.
You weren't serving me. You didn't serve me. I grabbed it off of the shelf right there, or you grabbed it off the shelf and turn around and go, oh yeah, here you go. I guess you put it in the bag. I don't know.
Look, I look at the amount because it always has the amount, right? 15%, 20%, 25%. They've been creeping that up.
Yeah.
And I look at the amount and I say, okay, who is this kid? Obviously a student. Do I have $3 that I can kick to this guy?
It's not about that to me.
He's working hard on a Friday night. That's how I look at it. I look at it and I say, do I have $3? Do I have $4? Can I kick that in? He made this food. He's being nice. He's cheerful. Yes,
right,
you can have this $4.
Well, I do it out of the guilt.
That's how I do it.
I do it out of the human guilt. I don't want to be judged when they hand me the thing and it says tip on it. On the screen, I've gotten better about being like, no, I'm not freaking doing this. Get out of here. Like, I just walked up here. You just passed. All they did was they flipped the empty cup over and they slide it over to you and you go, gee, thanks, and then they go, anyway, there's an extra question on there.
You want Diet Coke? Get it yourself.
Right. I'm not going to tip that guy. But I hope that our culture, in 1,000 years, when they dig us all up and they go, look at these receipts. They were paying tips back then. I hope we go to a full European model of like tipping. Like, don't do the tipping thing, man. Don't do the tipping. Just move on.
I think America's the only one that tips, honestly. I can't think of any other cultures that really tip.
Europeans take advantage of the Americans that come over and they'll go, hey, man, but you tip, right? And then you're like, I don't want to, but all right. That's fine.
Like, I know Asian countries don't really tip either. Like Japan, if you try to tip anyone there,
it's almost offensive.
Going to be, you're getting not good eyes.
The Yakuza murders you?
What? Basically, they will not be happy with you.
All right, okay. All right.
I just wanted to work the Yakuza into the show today. We accomplished it. So
we did.
There we are.
Here's one. Nate Bargatze. This is a comment on the stream here.
Nate Bargatze?
Nate Bargatze.
He's on the stream?
No.
Wait. I was like, what?
I was like, that guy's
and Alex were like, wait, what?
He's being quoted.
Oh, okay.
Nate Bargatze, he's the interior decorator, right?
No. He's the comedian.
Nate Bargatze is the comedian.
He's known as the clean comedian.
There's like 15 clean comedians. Guys who just come to Utah only to make all their money and then they leave.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then they leave and
Jim
just
Gaffigan's,
start cursing.
Who's the other one?
Yeah, I know Reagan, Brian Reagan.
Brian Regan, and then Nate Bargatze's the newest one, just printing money here in the state of Utah.
So he said on his podcast that his rule is that if he stands to order, so if he has to stand up to order a pickup, he doesn't tip.
I like it.
And then Ryan says that's what he eventually had to follow. Yeah. I don't do it. I don't do that. I look at that person. I think, you know what?
Here comes magnanimous Ethan, everybody. Just improving the lives of everybody around him.
But look, you and I, have you ever worked in
the food industry? No.
So I have. I've had a couple jobs there. And, you know, I mean, it's an entry-level job for a lot of people. It was for me. It was just an early job. I needed the money. But it's also kind of a transition job for some people, right? Who are kind of having to restart their life. Yeah. There are people who are, you know, hanging on to these jobs just because of the circumstances they're in. They're not typically well paid. The hours are terrible. And I just look at that. I think, you know what? I appreciate this. It seemed like they did a good job baking my food. They're being polite and friendly.
See, but
I have $4 to make this person's night better.
Here's what's tough. You like when you go to a ski resort, for example. And if my kid, right? And
do you tip your ski instructor, Alex? Tell us more.
No, I don't. First of all, I don't have a ski instructor because my wife was a professional ski instructor for a lot of years. She got tips. She worked at one of the more expensive places. Now
it's the abundance mentality, Alex.
But also the tip system was also she was teaching the kids of people. So the kids aren't tipping. The parents roll up to them and they go, "Thank freaking goodness that you are here to give us a decent holiday." Like they're tipping because they're like,
"Here's $1,000. Is that enough?"
You're a babysitter. No, but the amount of money people paid. But like when I'm at a ski resort, like let's say that I have a season pass for my kids, right? And I've already paid out the dang wazoo for that stuff. And then you roll up and you get a hot chocolate at that thing, and then they turn the freaking screen around and go, "There's 10 more questions there." I actually have some resentment to that because I'm like, I've already paid $1 million to be here today. I don't want to pay an extra dadgum dollar to this place.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And I don't want to punish that person individually, but it's their boss's fault.
You should quiz them. Just say, all right, tell me about why you have this job.
So is this were you a pregnant teen? Are you what's
a
going
student?
on here?
Or do you have rich parents that are paying for school and you just want a ski pass? You know, what is this? Tell me a little about your life.
I want to get more into that. Yeah. Has somebody stolen your personal camping spot and this is what you do now?
$50 tip.
Try to get extra money. Okay. Millard, final segment of our. Oh wait, are we moving on to something else here?
Well, we had a little flexibility. We left it a little up in the air, so you can talk about savvy grocery stores, or you could take more comments. It's up to you guys.
Okay, I did want to bring up
7-ish minutes. 8 minutes.
Okay. I did have something I wanted to bring up.
Oh, okay.
Millard, about about this grocery store story that I saw, because I was actually a little bit offended by the fact that I didn't know that. So I've been to. Have you shopped at an Aldi before? Or a Lidl's? Was it Lidl's?
No, I never have, because we don't have these here. If we don't have them here, I haven't shopped at them.
I had never been to one, and there was one next to our Airbnb one time in Florida. We had an Aldi next door. I got annoyed by it because you had to pay for the cart to use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are we doing? Is this a Florida thing? I don't know what's going on. You had to pay for the cart to use it. And then there were also, and like a lot of other places in the country, there were no bags.
Right.
Like they didn't have a paper or plastic bag to put things in, so I had to buy an Aldi bag.
So are these like discount?
It's not just discounts, like deeply discounted grocery stores.
Oh,
and
great.
No frills. So like the produce is in produce boxes. The
it's
shelves,
like the Spirit Airlines of supermarkets.
Yes, and except for these are not going to go out of business soon. In fact, they've become the norm for the way people shop now. And I thought this was a really weird way to put this on a story that I read online. It was like Americans. It says budget grocery stores leading the way for Americans. Shameful versus savvy shopping. It's not shameful, it's savvy, says one person.
Who would ever say it's shameful?
No, I don't know, because I don't know if I don't know the way that they refer to your other grocery stores. They're like, people are going into Wegmans and to Smiths and to Harmon's, and they're looking at them and they're going, wow, look at all the frills here. I'm like, I never looked at those like they were a first class.
Let me read the first part
experience.
of this.
I've only looked at them like those are grocery stores, but we know places that like cut costs and you go, oh good, and they pass it on to you. But then I get annoyed by no bags, and you also can't use a credit card. You got to use a debit card only, or that's something. But they also don't take cash, because don't hand me cash. We don't have people working the checkout here, because they didn't have anybody working any checkout.
Oh,
at least the one I went to, it was all self checkout and it was all self bagging. And again, self bagging is what the standard is now. I bagged groceries. That was my first job, was bagging groceries, or one of my first official jobs was bagging groceries. And that was
At which store?
Albertsons.
So,
Albertsons, it's your store.
Let me read this first part of this story here, because NPR is the one that posted this story. It's not shameful, it's savvy. The shoppers redefining how to save money on groceries. That's the title of the story, which is really confusing to me, because why would it ever be shameful? But this is a little story that is talking about a woman named Rachel. When Rachel Henderson started shopping at Aldi regularly during the pandemic, a change her family made when her husband lost his income as a crew coach, she'd sometimes have awkward run-ins with acquaintances. So she'd run into people that she knew at Aldi's. And then this is what she says. People would not want to talk about why they were here, like it was a mistake. They just stumbled into a grocery store because they needed a tomato. That's crazy to me.
I don't know one person that would be like, and I saw her walk into the Aldi's.
Is she okay?
Like, is she everything all right for their family? Like,
so
I never thought it for 1 second.
What is the most?
But we're cheapskates here in the state of Utah. Like, this is fine for. We never looked at it like it was.
Well, and earlier, I complained about how businesses are just trying to see how much they can charge us.
Yeah.
But now here we have a story about like these discount chains going the opposite direction, which I can appreciate.
Sure.
Who is it local that you think has the best value for regular supermarket and household shopping? I've got an idea for what it is.
I think that, so for me, like probably like the Associated Foods places, like a Macy's or
see, I wouldn't put Macy's on the discount list.
Say one out loud and I'll see if I agree with you.
I think it's Winco.
Oh, yeah.
I think Winco.
Right, yes. Get a lot of bulk stuff. Yeah, Winco's the same way because they have what? Don't pay with a credit card. You got to show up with a debit card.
I didn't know you shopped at Macy's. Did I do a good job with my contract here at KSL?
Okay.
I don't know if I did it. We should.
But
you and I should have consulted before I signed that thing.
But don't you go
if you're shopping at Macy's?
But every once in a while, because out east they have the what's that place that's like and in LA they're popular too.
Oh, the beach.
No, the grocery store's like. Oh. What are they called? There's like expensive ones. Like I'm not talking about weeds. What are they called? Sprouts. I'm not talking about those places. I'm talking about like it starts with an E. Yeomans. What's it called? It's super expensive though.
I don't know.
Like you want a smoothie, it's $47, and people are like, oh, I got it at that place. See, for me, here the classy ones in town are like Harmon's is like the kind of place you're like, ooh.
Oh, Harmon's.
They walked into Harmon's. What happened? They're like, well, the buttercream is actual butter.
You want to know something about Harmon's, though?
What?
4-piece chicken tender.
I know. I know. You've told me about it.
$7. Split it with a friend.
Listen to this guy.
It's amazing value.
The amount of, is it, Michael, did you look it up? It's something with an E?
Yeah, you're trying, it's spelled weird. My dyslexic brain is not handling.
Yeah.
This. It's like EREWHON.
Erewhon.
Thank you.
Erewhon, yes.
I'm just like, what is this?
So Erewhon, it sounds like a weird race of elves in Lord of the Rings. So like, we're shopping at Erewhon.
I think Erewhon is a character in Lord of the Rings.
I think it might be, but Erewhon's is like the type of place where people go. You only walk in there so you can be seen buying salmon roe for $48 for an ounce. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of.
Is that a good price for
salmon roe? I don't know.
Might be a great price.
Don't ask me. This is a quiz, isn't it? You see, guys, Alex is buying salmon roe on the weekends.
Last time I bought salmon roe, you know what it was for?
What?
Fishing. One of those little jars of salmon eggs.
No, I put those on my. I actually do that. It's a little hack. You can put that on your homemade sushi.
Well, and if you get the ones from the bait shop, they get all kinds of fun flavorings in there. You got pickle flavor.
It's like bright green.
Fish.
Oh yeah. No.
Even fishier flavor.
The most fish flavor you can get, and you pour it on your homemade sushi.
Yeah.
See, we're just trying to help people save money.
It's phenomenal.
I just like how we talked about like Costco all last week. It feels like, and like really, that's like one of those expensive places.
Costco was put on the list, and they buy all their ingredients from Costco and make them with the things they just bought at Aldi, and then they save money. I'm like, why are you so disgusted by this? Yeah, I buy stuff in bulk at Costco. Fine,
but you need membership at Costco. For me, that's like.
Well,
that's a classy thing.
The problem with Costco is you put so much towards inventory. You know, you get a great deal on toilet paper.
Yeah.
But you got to buy all the toilet paper.
The awkward thing is when you go through Winco's line for the first time, and you have $119 worth of stuff, and then you pull out your credit card, they go, we don't do that here. And then you have to walk out with your tail between your legs because you haven't used a debit card to pay for groceries in 1,000 years.
Or when you wait for them to start bagging up your stuff.
You're just
and
going,
you realize,
hey,
they don't do that either.
It's at the end of the line here, lady. Like, we're getting close. Yeah.
Bags are there. Bags are there, sir.
But I'm a guy, like I said, are you going somewhere?
I'm like, poor Caitlin, who's trying to navigate the board and this camera,
somewhere?
just killing our...
What are you doing right now?
I'm sorry, I'll sit down.
No, she already fixed it.
Everyone is just like...
Stay there.
We're wrapping up anyways, I think, right?
Am I bothering you?
Like, what's
by doing a radio show
Jeez.
right now?
It's fine. This is why we should have a wide setup. I didn't
we have to be downstairs in 15 minutes.
We are good to wrap. We are good to wrap. But I was trying to follow.
Hey, everybody. Ethan was done talking, so we are going to go downstairs now and do a radio show.
That's how we're going to stay on task, because Ethan's just going to stand out.
You're like my dad when we would go to family stuff, and he'd go, well, anyway, and my mom would be like, I guess we're leaving now, because my dad pulled his pants up, and he's like, anyway, he's out the door.
We're out of here.
Well, taking the break here, I guess. We'll be back downstairs for another edition of KSL Brightside as we get you ready for the rest of your day. And hopefully the volume will be figured out on the radio side of things downstairs as well. For Ethan, for Michael, for Caitlin, I'm Alex. We'll see you downstairs, everybody. Sheesh.